If you are someone who is concerned about the effects of climate change, how that's going to affect the planet, your life, the life of your loved ones, your community, and the global community as a whole, then I would ask you to keep watching this video where I'm going to share two really simple but very powerful things that you can do to help and do your bit to save the planet. Hi, my name is Leah. I'm from the Center of Ki. I teach yoga, but I'm also passionate about health and well-being, and that passion extends to all things about this planet that we live on, including what's coming up with the climate crisis ahead. So, as promised, in this video, I'm going to share with you two really simple things that you can do to make a big difference. The first one is to think about how you're investing your money. Now, a lot of us, especially in Australia, have a superannuation fund, and we put money aside, or our employers put money aside for us into that fund when we get paid. Now, you might not think much about this fund except that you want your money to grow. But you may not be aware that your super fund could be investing in things like fossil fuels, weapons, tobacco, gambling, all these things that have a negative impact on the planet. But I want to share with you that there is a solution where you can actually invest your money in different places using a superannuation fund that actually support climate action and the health and well-being of the people and the planet. So there's what's called ethical investment funds. Now, if you've never heard of an ethical investment fund, basically what these funds do is they have an ethical charter, and they will outline the types of companies that they choose to invest in. And you can go to their website and read which of the companies they invest in to make sure that you're investing in companies that align with your values. Now, if you're concerned about the climate crisis, then you want to avoid companies that are, mining, extraction of fossil fuels, and other things like logging and other practices that are not in alignment with the health and well-being of the planet. I personally have had my superannuation with Australian Ethical Investment and Australian Ethical Super since I was about 20 years old, and I've been steadily watching my money grow, knowing with peace of mind that it is doing good for the planet. The second thing that you can do is support an organisation that is fighting for saving things like Australia's native forests. So on Saturday, or was it Sunday, I was at a rally in Adelaide, which was organised by the Bob Brown Foundation. Now, you may not know who Bob Brown is, but he was very strategic in setting up the Wilderness Society in Australia, and also was a member of the Greens Party for many years and was a senator in the Australian government. He retired a little while ago and now has established the Bob Brown Foundation, which is based in Hobart, Tasmania, and they do a lot of work to protect native forests and native species. Now, they have people placed right now down in Tarkania in Tasmania to prevent the forests from getting logged. And now these forests have been earmarked by the state government, and these old growth forests are getting chopped down and turned into basically bark chips and sent overseas. And it's such a tragedy. So by standing up, you can go to the Bob Brown website and also support the Bob Brown organisation with either donation, attending one of their events, or even going to Tasmania and seeing these amazing forests and, really being there and seeing the work they're doing and supporting them there. Now, if that all sounds too much, maybe you want to go a different route, but there's other organisations such as the Australian Conservation Foundation, the Wilderness Society, the World Wildlife Fund, all these organisations that are working to help and pressure government to set up native habitat reserves and protect the forests. So protecting the forests is a really key part of ensuring that the climate doesn't change too dramatically. The problem is, since colonization, especially in Australia, but also around the world, forests have been chopped down at a staggering rate. And we really have enough timber in plantations now that we don't need to be cutting down the native forests. And it's not just about the trees in the forest, it's also about the animals and the plants, the diversity that lives in these environments. There's birds that return to the same tree every year to nest their young. And imagine, you're coming back to your home in the forest after being away for some time and your tree no longer existing. Your home has been cut down and there's nowhere for you to go. So these birds and other wildlife animals are facing these issues of having nowhere to go and then, of course, dying as a result. And this is leading to high rates of extinction around our native species. So 2 really simple things you can do. Find out where your super is being invested and put it into a fund that is going to be helping the environment, not in mining and extraction and all those other things that are having a detrimental effect on the planet. And secondly, support an organization that is doing good, that is standing up to the government, is making noise, whether that's by protesting and by supporting their actions that they're taking, or another organisation such as the Australian Conservation Foundation, who do a lot of work trying to work with the government to create better laws and regulations that help the native plants and animals of our country. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this topic or want to know more, please leave a comment, and I look forward to responding as soon as I can. Take care.